Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is June the 5th, 2019. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Strong hand. Offended by selling. Be a unique beast. Unconfiscatable. Holder of last resort. World Reserve crypto. Bitcoin is the apex predator. All right, everybody. Check out all the links below. See all my old shows at disruptmeister.com. It's seriously, you can learn a lot. Over 1,300 shows there. And there's still, you could still learn from today. Techbalt, TECHBALT. That's who I am. That's where I am on Twitter. I'm tweeting out stuff all day long. Depends on where you are, if it's night or day. Okay, a new show here every single day. Let us start out. And remember, if you have questions, type in Bitcoin Meister. Bitcoin Meister to the chat. I will answer your questions during this show live. I love to answer your questions. And speaking about questions and commenters and acting, being in motion here and being part of the team. And anyway, here's a guy in the comments section interacting with me. That's the word I was looking for. City in the Sky said, probably the best savings account ever devised by man. I love that line. City in the Sky, you left it in the comments section about Bitcoin. Probably the best savings account ever devised by man. 20%ers need to wake up to this now, okay? So many people aren't able to defer gratification, and they're not going to be able to appreciate such a line. The best savings account ever devised by man. That is Bitcoin. That is what we're sitting on right now. That is, you have a chance to be part of it right now. So a lot of people, that's not very glamorous to them. They want the altcoin flavor of the month. They want, it can do magical things. They don't care about savings and deferral gratification. They don't know. They're not 20%ers. 20%ers, they think long term. They pound that like button. They do what the shirt says. Buy and hold. Strong hand. All right. Now, on that same note, Jason Abitur in a tweet says, you forgot the part about the most secure form of wealth storage on the planet. Yeah, a lot of people do forget that. A lot of people don't care about it being the most secure form of wealth storage on the planet. Okay, so it's the greatest, the best savings account ever devised by man, and it's the most secure form of wealth storage on the planet. How can you avoid this if you're a long-term thinker? How can you not be a part of it? And he also points out you can move it across political boundaries seamlessly. Yeah, that is also a bonus. A lot of people do not understand that because a lot of people have only lived their entire life in the United States or some other country where they cannot even fathom having to flee with all your wealth and not having to worry about it being confiscated. So Transit 98 says, Bitcoin Meister, I love ya. My goal is to buy 10 Bitcoin over the next year, dollar price average, or buy in $1,000 chunks. Any other advice? Well, no, just dollar cost average. Dollar cost average it. Why not? I mean, or do you have if you happen to have $76,000 sitting around, you should just do it right now. Why not? But if you don't, then yeah, you have to. That's the only thing you can do is dollar cost. My goal is to buy 10 Bitcoin over the next year, dollar price average, or buy $1,000 chunk. No, but I mean, that's $1,000 chunk. If you bought $1,000 chunks, that would take 76 weeks. Well, at this point, it would. But that is dollar cost averaging. That's you're buying. It's the same dollar price averaging or buying just whatever you feel comfortable with. I only compare it. I'm thinking either you buy it in chunks over a spread out period of time, or you buy it all at once. Those are my two options right there. Okay. So if you happen to have $76,000 laying around, you should just do it now. Again, I don't give financial advice. I'm just saying theoretically type of stuff. But what the heck? Pound that like button, dude. Thank you for the question. And who's this says? And Gummy Bear says, please define 20 percenters versus 80 percenters. 20 percenters produce most of what you see in the world. 20 percenters are the ones that don't sit around complaining all day doing that. 80%, 20%. The rough numbers are 20% of the people in any industry produce 80% of the products. There's just in general in the population, the top 20% produce a heck of a lot, control a lot of the wealth, and there are reasons for this. And you want to be part of them. You want to be in the productive class, not in the 80% class that is sometimes not smart. They don't do smart things. And again, 20 percenters make plenty of mistakes too. They make plenty of mistakes also. But you just always want to be with that 20% mentality, long-term thinker, the ability to not be impulsive. so there you go. That's a rough thing, and it's you can. There's all sorts of different theories about it. Mine's a very simple one that people can get. Just try to be in the top tier. Okay, you want to be in the top tier of everything in life in terms of productivity, so you don't have to deal with some of the lower tier issues. And again, it would be nice if society was split up in a different way. If 30% of the people produced 70%. If the top 30% were as productive as the current top 20%, but that's just not the way it is. The top when you're in the top 20%, they're producing an incredible amount of the productivity in any industry, in any society. So, and then even the top 20 of the 20%, they're like the uber productive. Those are the Bitcoiners, right? All right, pound that like button. And I want to, speaking about interacting here with everyone. Thanks for the people who tried to get me on the Joe Rogan show. That someone tweeted it out. It's linked to below. You can retweet it. Hey, anyone can dream, but I got to say, there's another Adam that would really do the trick. Okay, I mentioned the boxer Adam Kalnacki, who is a huge Bitcoin fan. Well, that dude, just like the Joe Rogan show, is on the border of mainstream 80%er society and the 20%er society, where people are long-term thinkers and make good investments. He's definitely attracts people from both because he's in the Bitcoin. He would be a great guest on Joe Rogan's show because he's going to be talking about boxing and fighting, which all the 80%ers just love that kind of stuff. But he will bring up Bitcoin and he will introduce. It'll help his career too, I'm sure. And Joe Rogan likes to talk about fighting. And then Joe Rogan likes to talk about Bitcoin. So I nominate that guy as like the perfect dude for the Joe Rogan show to talk about Bitcoin. No, he's not a Bitcoin genius like Andreas, but he can talk the talk with the 80%ers who also watch and get them enthused and maybe turn some of them into 20%ers. Who knows? You never know. But so yeah, I just thought about that. And moving on here, the biggest supply shock in the history of financial markets, that is the halving that is coming up in 2020. And Tuur Demeester has a tweet that is about one of my favorite subject matters, crypto dividends. He says, someone pointed out, also consider free dividends in the form of Bitcoin's forks, BCH, BTG, during 2017. Indeed, these should be added to Bitcoin's returns. You see, he's got that insider information. He understands people were valuing their wealth in fiat, and they were saying, well, this altcoin did better than Bitcoin during this time period, but they were not factoring in that you get interest on your Bitcoin through crypto dividends. And of course, Tuur Demeester, who is a genius, who is, he knows what he understands that you get crypto dividends. In 2017 especially, you got a lot of crypto dividends, a great return on just holding Bitcoin. And again, why do I love crypto dividends so much? Because it encourages logical people, the 20%ers, to hold, to not fall into those traps and to be impulsive. It rewards all the important, the savers, the holders, the holders of last resort. They are very important in the whole Bitcoin ecosystem, okay? And a lot of people don't want to be it because they don't think there's any glamour involved. They don't think there's
they can't see the benefits. There you go. That's a very easy benefit to see. Crypto dividends, interest. So yeah, that's your public service announcement of the day. Tuur Demeester understands that this is the cryptos are important. He knows crypto dividends are important. He knows the insider information. I know the insider information. Do you understand the insider information? I hope you do by this point. If you've been watching this show long enough, you should know that. And it's great to see Tuur Demeester talking about crypto dividends. He should talk about it more because, again, it is insider information because we don't talk about it enough. The intellectual Bitcoin elite, like Tuur Demeester, they should bring it up more. They don't. But hey, personal responsibility is a new counterculture. You should. It's out there. It is out there. Sometimes the information does not come easy. You got to do your own research. You got to find shows like this. Again, if you want fancy sets and graphics, you're never going to find out about this kind of thing. And anyways, that's your own thing. You can end up complaining at being a no coiner 4 years later. It's not my fault. It's, again, personal responsibility is a new counterculture. That's how we do it on this show, baby. Anyone can go any way you want to. There are long-term consequences. And it's your own fault. Anyway, and so speaking of Tuur Demeester, he has a great new report out there. Just stop watching this show right now and read the report. It's good. He's always got a note on the Bitcoin rally, it's called. In our previous update, well, I'm going to read you a bunch of it now, so maybe you don't have to stop the show. And again, a lot of people you can't read, so maybe they'll understand this a little bit better if I read it to them. In our previous update, we suggested these medium-term price drivers for the Bitcoin price. Accumulation by family offices and institutions. Yeah, I think that's going on. Non-selling by Bitcoin miners as profit margins recover. Yeah, I also think that is going on, Tuur Demeester. And that non-selling by Bitcoin miners is going to increase as the halving hype comes closer, as the halving gets closer. Some minor fear of missing out from retail investors. Yeah, that's probably going on. I don't exactly know about that, but good point. And then he says, however, it appears, I probably skipped something there. He says, it appears we underestimated one factor, capital flight from China. Okay. And maybe that's going on. I've always thought the China thing has been hyped. You're starting to think maybe it isn't. Again, a lot of you always look for reasons. Why is this happening? Well, there are some whys right there. He gives some reasons why, if you care about it. Again, over time, I'm going to tell you right now, the one thing that is unavoidable is the non-selling by miners, the accumulation of the Bitcoin, instead of just mining the Bitcoin and then selling it right away, just keeping more and more of it, so less of it comes on the market. So that is something that we saw leading up to the halving in 2016, and we will see that again. Now, another quote from there is, what we found is remarkable. Bitcoin's current parabolic curve represents the fastest increase in unrealized profits since January 2012. And again, that's unrealized profits. He's talking about fiat value. He's talking about fiat value. It is, let me read you that again. I just lost my place. We found is remarkable. Bitcoin's current parabolic curve represents the fastest increase in unrealized profits since January 12th. So yeah, if you do one of those nice fancy graphs, it's the biggest slope or quickest, biggest line, just sudden upward movement since January of 2012. But hey, and is that sustainable? Who knows? But it's a noteworthy observation on his part. John Stramina says, greetings from Malibu. Dude, you're living a good life if you're in Malibu. I've never been there before. It's not far from where I am right now. It's a good life out there, dude. Very, very good for you. But again, value your wealth in Bitcoin, not in beachfront property, because that can always fall into the sea if there's ever, God forbid, an earthquake. Your Bitcoin will not. Your Bitcoin is earthquake resistant. Your property in Malibu is not. Pound that like button. I just made that up and pulled that out of my. All right. Now, Mizir Mahmoudov, he says, when Bitcoin hits $20,000 soon, and again, Value your wealth in Bitcoin, not in dollars, not in Malibu property. But again, he's talking to the masses here. The world will wake up, because we're one day closer to 20K for all you free freaks. The world will wake up to the fact that Bitcoin is here to stay. Many high-profile people will start being vocal about owning Bitcoin, as everyone who ever bought Bitcoin will be in profit. So yeah, there's a lot of closet Bitcoin holders out there that might have bought like at 15,000, 16,000, and they didn't want to talk about it very much. And they might be like popular people that you've heard of that in the mainstream. Again, we know that it's all about the counterculture here, the personal responsibility. But still, there's some mainstreamers who got into Bitcoin, and they're probably silent. But once it gets back to that all-time high in terms of fiat, everyone will be a genius again, and they'll be bragging about it, and that will help fuel more people to get in. And those people will complain that, they bought at 100,000 and it fell down to 40,000, et cetera, et cetera. In the future, we've been through the cycle many times. Look up the 210,000 block theory. I talk about it on this show often. So check out disruptmeister.com to see those old ones. All right. Vention sent $5 in the super chat. Thank you very much. Adam, you should be fair about this and share your Bitcoins with the proletariat. If you share, you'll make 80% part of the 1%. Oh yeah, I mean, there's so many people that want me to do something like that. There's so many people, and those that are envious of people who have made smart decisions, and they're like, no, that's unfair that you're doing well. You should have to share with everyone else. You should feel guilty about that. You should be guilted and shamed because you're wealthy, and you need to solve the poor people's problems. It's your responsibility to do that, even though they never listen to you. And it's total nonsense, Vincent. Total nonsense. And there are actually people in the Bitcoin space who think that way, and that's awesome. You know why? Because this space does not discriminate. You can bring ludicrous ideas here, and it's may the best man win here. If you got a ludicrous idea, be ready. This is where the big boys play, and it will be shot down, and maybe you'll have to rethink your premise. But no, I encourage everyone to look out for yourself. Look out for yourself. Try to get more. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad you're doing well. If people aren't listening to you now, and then 4 years later you're a millionaire, they're entitled. They have no claim against you. They have nothing against all these people out there. And we'll talk. All these gatekeepers, the gatekeepers of the world, say, well, you can't be accepted to our society unless you pay the price. You have to be guilted and shamed, and you have to give up some of your wealth, and then we'll like you. Fitting in is overrated. Totally. That's how you become poor. You won't be a 20%er long if you care about fitting in. How about that? All right. Thank you for again. If you like these type of subject matters that Vention has brought out in me, watch the Saturday Beyond Bitcoin show. I think we're gonna have a great one this Saturday. I've got a lot of stuff written down. It's always a fun time. Okay, and we got to talk about gold. We got to talk about gold right now. Gold money. Isn't Peter Schiff in charge of gold money? They've got a tweet out there that Bitcoin is physically heavier than gold. They're trying to fight back against Bitcoin with some really convoluted thought process. I linked to it below. Everything I talk about is linked to below, so check it out. Anyway, they're trying to fight back. Let them. And Tuur Demeester, who I've mentioned a few times today, he speaks up. He likes gold still. I mean, that's his prerogative. And he tries to calm these people down. And he says, in my opinion, you guys are too reactionary. This could hurt you. I love gold, as do many younger investors. Well, I don't know about that. And I have a gold money. I've had a gold money account since 2011. Please give us reasons to continue loving gold without hating on Bitcoin. Well, that is probably a good advice. I don't know good reasons to continue loving gold, to tell you the truth. So let them try to hate on Bitcoin. If people want to, they want to have rocks still, that's their prerogative. It's not heavy. It's not physically heavier than gold. But they're trying to say it is. So you can believe it if you want to. Now, you can also believe the world is flat, et cetera, et cetera. It's whatever you want, people. Now, it's just don't come complain to me in 4 years that you didn't understand. Now that you're poor and that I owe you something. I owe you nothing. I owe you. That's what you got to learn in life. You don't owe anyone anything, man. What the heck do you owe? And if they're doing the wrong thing, you owe them. They got to fix their own personal responsibilities and do counterculture. It's that simple. All right, Vitalik, Ethereum Vitalik has a comment about BSV. And I'm only sharing this because I don't like the word he uses. He says Ethereum's Vitalik Buterin slams Bitcoin, slams BSV. I almost said something else. Obviously a complete scam, he calls it. All right. So why I'm pointing this out is he is not scared of the lawsuit machine over there. And that is good for him not to be intimidated. Again, he values his wealth partially in Bitcoin. He has Bitcoin. He knows his wealth is going to be taken away. He knows that he can't be sued. That if Jim Jones tried to sue him, if BSV tried to sue him, he would laugh in their faces. He's setting a good example there. He's speaking his mind, and he knows he's not going to get to. That would be great. It would be hilarious if they try to. They try. What are they going to take from Vitalik? I mean, he could. It would be. Yeah, they would not. They're bullies. They don't pick on someone their own size, or they don't pick on someone that's bigger than them. They're gonna try to make examples out of whoever to try to intimidate that they're the lawsuit machine. They're compliant, the compliant coin. I don't know why anyone would even want to be a part of that. They're like the tattletales of cryptocurrency. This isn't compliant. This is going to go away. You're not government. We're government compliant. This coin shouldn't exist. This is the BSV mentality. It's so weird that people want to be like so compliant and follow. I mean, it's their prerogative to blindly follow what the government says. They're the guys during World War II who would report the people hiding Jewish people. That's that type of mentality. Well, that's what the law is. I got to report to the government. We're going to be compliant. They were hiding Jews. We have to be compliant. Oh, there's nothing wrong. This is again in that mentality. There were people like that. There were people like that. Oh no, that's the rule. Let's report. Let's be compliant. I mean, there's this. It's amazing. I can't understand it. I don't understand the nature of compliance in some people. And then again, there's some people, and that's definitely taking it to an extreme there, but. It doesn't end well, compliance. All right, Dinga says, did you see Vitalik rapping on EdCon? I wonder, ETH bag holder. I saw people were trying to tweet about that. It's just noise, dude. I don't care what he does on his personal time, and that he's dorky. He has dorky rap. Oh wow, that's surprising that an incredible genius does a dorky rap. All right, he's richer than everybody. He gets the last laugh. Trust me. People try to pick on Vitalik for like these totally what's the word I'm looking for? Just frivolous reasons, superficial reasons, totally superficial reasons. It's envy. It's total envy of the guy. I'm not the biggest Ethereum fan in the world, but he's clearly a genius. All these people are like, Vitalik's an idiot. I mean, that's not an argument. All right. Finally, and I say, speaking about altcoins real quick, and speaking about centralized ones like BSV, but even more centralized like Ripple. Now, this might be better than Ripple. The Block Crypto says, let's see, Facebook plans to create independent foundation to manage its cryptocurrency. Will charge members $10 million licensing fee for rights to operate node. Okay, that will probably, and again, that sounds, they're straight up saying it. Obviously, they're going to be very centralized, but it sounds a little bit better than Ripple, maybe. It's Facebook. And that will probably get them into a top 10 coin, even though they're like supposedly a stable coin they want to be. Plans to license out the right to operate nodes on its new crypto network, currency network, charging companies $10 million a piece for the privilege. Node operators will also be allowed to send a representative to the independent foundation. So they're coming up with some foundation. I guess that'll make governments happy that they're not that it's independent. It really isn't Facebook printing their own money. I don't know. Hopes to launch its network with 100 nodes generating $1 billion in licensing fees. That'd be amazing, amazing. The firm then plans to use these fees to back its cryptocurrency with a basket of currencies and low-risk securities from different countries. You know what? Part of this is gobbledygook. I don't know. They basically found a way to raise $1 billion, okay? And they think they found a way to raise $1 billion. It's going to have a lot of money. It's going to be big. It's going, if they're able to pull this off, if people are like, oh, I want a Facebook node, whatever the heck that is, on this private blockchain. Well, it's not private, it's public because they say it's public because it's like Ripple. All right. Whatever they come about, there'll be people tossing millions of dollars at them. Let them try to do this. I think it will be big for the space. I think a lot of it is clearly nonsense. And some of the people might not even know what they're talking about. But hey, it will bring attention to cryptocurrency. If they end up with a circulating cryptocurrency on their tremendous platform that can be changed into Bitcoin on other platforms, on exchanges, it will be good for the space. If you want to buy a $10 million node, then hey, yeah, you can do that. You'll be able to brag to your friends. There might be rich people that'll be like, yes, I own a $10 million Facebook node, whatever that is. And yeah, good for them. Roman Q, finally, I hope that newcomers find this channel as opposed to the no coin hyper wavers who are telling people to sell their precious Bitcoins, but 80%ers will be 80%ers. No, yeah, I hope people find my channel too, but they won't. They will find all the 80%er channels before mine. That's the way it works. They know how to, they clickbait titles that go with the YouTube algorithm. I don't do those. They do those. I am a Bitcoiner. I am not a YouTuber. Thus, the new people, 80%ers, they will find the YouTubers before they find the Bitcoiner. Pound that like button. That's just the way it is. You're lucky. You're not lucky. You're smart that you're here. You're 20%er most likely. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Check out the links section below. Pound that like button. Bang that bell button. Click on those squares. Strong hand. I will see you guys in the chat right now. Crypto dividends.